transform the future of education across the globe. But what is it going to take to make that transformation? To take that first step towards new inspiring learning spaces that meet the needs of all children. Welcome to DAVES, the Houston County Digital and Virtual Education System. DAVES is the integration of smart technologies like SmartBoard interactive whiteboards, Airliner wireless slates, Smart Response assessment systems, and the Bridget video conferencing software with Microsoft SharePoint Server 2007 to distribute instruction to students at Crossroads, the Houston County Alternative School for Behaviorally Challenged Students. The budget crisis hitting the United States today really impacted the Houston County Board of Education in January of 2009. Receipts from tax revenues had declined, and we realized that by the end of the 2008-2009 school year, we would be $15 million in debt if we didn't do something. Programs were cut, and one of the programs that was cut were our foreign language teachers at our alternative center, Crossroads. So the teaching and learning department and the assistant superintendent for teaching and learning came to me and said, "Mark, we know that Perry High School has a lot of technology in place. What can you do to help us to provide instruction for these students at Crossroads?" I said, "Give me a few days, I'll come up with a solution." Taking a look at what we already had in place at Perry High School, I realized that we could use our smart boards, our smart wireless slates, our smart response systems, and the new Bridget conferencing software that I had recently purchased to facilitate instruction for our visually impaired students. Combine that with the school system's data warehouse, the Microsoft SharePoint Server 2007, and give students access to the SharePoint server. So that was the advent of how we were going to provide some type of instruction to the students at Crossroads. So how does it all come together? Take a look and see. It begins when students are assigned to the Crossroads Center because of disciplinary issues at one of the 4 high schools in Houston County. When they arrive at the Crossroads Center, the students sit down with a counselor and they determine the best course of study for that particular student. They go through their academic record, look at what courses they're taking in the current semester, and try to get the best fit for those students. Sometimes it's just not possible for the students to take the exact same courses that they were taking at their home high school because the course is not offered at the Crossroads Center. Students can take AP classes through the Georgia Virtual High School if the courses are still available. Many courses at the Georgia Virtual High School are filling up now because of the popularity of the program. Some courses can be taken through NovaNet, which is another alternative form of instruction for students, and our Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 students can also take the DAVES system. Once it's determined that a student can participate in DAVES, a registration process begins. Registration form is sent by the counselor at the Crossroads Center to the Teaching and Learning Department at the Houston County Board of Education for approval for that student to take DAVES courses. Once that registration form is approved, it's forwarded on to Marc Dastous at Perry High School, and he sets up the student access in the SharePoint portal to access the class. Now this can be either a Spanish 1 or a Spanish 2 class. Once the registration process is complete, students are provided an introduction to the technological resources that are available in DAVES. They're first introduced to the SharePoint portal and how to access the information in the portal. They're then provided instruction on how to appropriately use Bridget and also how to complete forms in Adobe Acrobat so they can be saved and then sent to the instructor once the assessments are completed. In most circumstances, when a student arrives at Crossroads, they've missed a significant amount of instruction. Sometimes between 2 weeks and a month has passed since they last attended class on campus. Therefore, all sessions in DAVES are archived for Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. When a student arrives at Crossroads, they're able to select the last date of instruction at their home school, and then they're able to watch the video of that particular day's lesson that was provided via DAVES. They log into the system, All videos are password protected so that only the students in the classes can watch the particular videos, and the student is able to watch the 55-minute video of the actual classroom session that was recorded by the faculty member at Perry High School. In some circumstances, students come directly to Crossroads and miss very little instruction from the time they left their home campus to the time they arrived on the Crossroads campus, and they're able to participate in synchronous transmissions via the Bridget conferencing software. The Spanish 1 and Spanish 2 teachers at Perry High School send out daily reminders via Bridget for scheduled conferences. This makes it much simpler for the students to access the live interactive sessions. Once the students click the link in the email, they are then provided access to the interface for the program. In order to fully engage in the conference, it's necessary for the student to establish which hardware they're using and the settings for that hardware, specifically speakers or headphones and microphones. In order to do this, the students click on Menu Options and then they select the hardware that they're using on their machine. If they're also using a webcam, they can also adjust those settings as well. If they do have a webcam, they would click on the icon at the top of the screen that looks like a webcam and then click Start My Webcam. This would enable the other people in the conference to see them. In this scene, you'll see that the user has already clicked on the webcam icon and his video is being displayed on the screen. In order to speak now, he must click on the open mic, and then once he's done speaking, he clicks on the close mic in order to communicate orally with the people in the video conference. It's also possible for the students to communicate via text by typing into the window if, for example, they don't have a microphone handy. So what does the future hold for virtual education and DAVES in the Houston County school system? Well, at this time there are no plans to move to a true learning management system such as WebCT, Moodle, or Desire to Learn. The school system has invested a tremendous amount of capital in the SharePoint server and do not feel that it's necessary to implement a new technology at this time. To facilitate instruction using SharePoint, however, it's going to be necessary to adopt new SharePoint web parts. One web part that we are currently testing is a web part that would allow teachers to have online quizzes that would be graded within SharePoint. The Teaching and Learning Department also has a desire to expand the number of courses that are offered to the students at Crossroads. Currently, we are offering Spanish 1 and Spanish 2, but there's also a need to begin offering Latin and chemistry because those classes do not have teachers that are certified to teach them at the Crossroads Center. Teaching and Learning also desires that the school system start using recordings in all classes. That is, have every teacher with a microphone using Smart Recorder and record all lessons that are being provided and posted to the SharePoint server. This would enable parents to hear what type of instruction is taking place in the classroom. Students who are absent would be able to access recordings of lectures, and also students on hospital homebound would be able to do the exact same thing. So what is it going to take to meet the needs of all students in Houston County? It's going to take DAVES, the digital and virtual education system.